channel box. In this video, I would like to cover channel box. To do so, you need an object. Channel box is located over here. It is the last icon on the right. What channel box allows me to do is rotate parts, scale parts very accurately. In other words, I could type in 120 degrees and it will rotate 120 degrees. If I wanted to undo that, I could just go in here, type in 0, and it zeroes it out. So that stands true for all this. All these scales, rotates, and translates. It can be the very same way. Another thing you could do is click on rotate, and let's say I need to rotate it very accurately. I can also middle mouse button click drag in the viewport while rotate Y is highlighted, and it will do this. Okay? That's a little easier sometimes to rotate it via the channel box than the manipulator tool. Over here it also contains the inputs. Now inputs are kind of what you would say, how you add geometry to an object while it's live. Okay, an input, it's a live variation. What happens with a live variation of this, you can add more geometry to it. Let's say, however, if I use the move tool just for a second, and I duplicate it using Command D, this new one, notice it does not have a live variation of it. Okay? So I cannot add anything to the cube after I duplicate it because this is now a duplicate of the original. Okay? So if you have the original, it has an input channel, and under input I can now go into subdivision width, height, and depth and say add geometry. Again, all I do is have to click on this and then middle mouse button click drag, and I can add as many as I want, or I can type it in here. Okay? One more thing about the channel box is the layers. And we'll get more into this later, but when you need a layer, all you do is have to create a new layer. And you got layer 1. If you double click on this, you can rename it. And if I want to add something to that layer, I can right click on it, add selected object. So now what happens, I can toggle it visible, I can toggle it writable, and I can put it as a template. So there's template. See, I can't touch it, but I can see it. Very useful if you're modeling several things on top of each other. Alright, so that is Channel Box Editor in Maya.